um, AKA mentor.
Kevin Hearthstone, yeah.
Who was he? How
Um,
did he come into your life?
well, it's funny. I actually have a bit on this, but my dream came true. I was able to finally get on stage at Crackers, and it was like my family came in. My aunt flew in from South Carolina to surprise me because my family's been wanting to see this for a very long time. And get into Crackers, did really well on my first show. And then book another show the next month and then it closes down. So part of my bit was the suck hole in my face, did it shut down a whole club? Cause, I can be pretty, just very lewd and inappropriate. And they had sent out a message, like I was getting messages. I had people who had already bought tickets for the show in March and they were messaging me saying, "Hey, the club closed down," and I was freaking out. Started looking up local comics and Kevin Hearthstone came in. So I messaged him. I was like, "Hey," I was like, "I don't know you and I know this is random, but I just got my first bite at comedy and please don't tell me this is over. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do." Instead of stonewalling me and gatekeeping like some comedians will do, he was totally open. He's like, "Hey, I have an open mic. It's called Mucky Mondays. It's on Southport. It's at Mucky Duck." And
Southport, Indiana?
it's Southport Road in
Southport
Indiana.
Road, yeah.
It's every Monday at 8 p.m. Right now, Evan Hammonds, he's a comedian that I really love and respect. He's running it now. They wanted to keep it going after Kevin had passed in July, but I came in and, the first moment I can actually remember it like it was yesterday that I saw Kevin. He had like this little Moscow mule and he's like, "Hey, I ordered this drink, but it wasn't what I wanted. Do you want it?" And I watched the show and stuff like that and we talked. Well, it was my second show. I was so excited. I had all these people come and I completely froze on stage.
Right.
Like I lost it. And I just remember, and it's so funny the things that you remember about a person, but I was looking directly at Kevin. I can remember the table and where he was, and I can remember his face. And I was just looking, and he just kind of was giving me that look, not to be obvious, like, keep going, keep going. And I looked at it, and I was like, I lost it. I can't. And then I was like, "Look, I know you don't allow people to finish, but I need to finish for me. I need to know that would you allow me to after the mic? I know nobody will be here." He allowed me to finish.
How big was that, and what does that mean
It was
to
monumental. It was monumental to me, the fact that he would let me finish.
why'd you freeze?
Inexperience, and it was a tough crowd.
Dennis, you was just at Crackers.
Yeah, I know, but it's just, like you read the room when you're in stand-up comedy, and if it's a tough crowd, people are just looking and they're not really responsive to what you're putting forth, it makes you kind of second guess yourself. And it really was not a responsive crowd, but it's also a bar. So they're watching the game and stuff like that. And, I was still fresh off the scene, but, he did pass in July and it was completely heartbreaking for us all.
Well, what did
And
he say to you when you was it
said,
any
"I got done. I got done." And it's something that I'll carry in my heart forever. I looked at him, I was like, "What do you think?" And he looked at me and he goes, "Well, "You know Netflix special, but I think you're gonna make it." And I actually have a video that we did together. It was my first show. We did a TikTok together about me listing my demands to be on his open mic, and he was so fun and willing to do it. But he was a complete vision. He had an idea for the comedy community because he saw the gatekeeping. He saw it and he didn't want to do that. He wanted it to be a community. And so like I know like Evan works really hard to kind of make that happen. And some of the comedians who knew Kevin are trying to make that happen as well. So like a little tribute that I'll do to Kevin, like when we did part one, I remember driving home and I was just like, I was like, "I'm no Netflix special, but I talked about you today," because I feel like that's what keeps people alive and it's his vision. But when I host shows in honor of him giving me that second chance, instead of putting the microphone in the mic stand, I like to hand it to the comic as sort of like a welcome to the stage.